Two breakaway stages in a row is a very unusual way to start a one-week stage race, but that is what we got again in the Tour Auvergne Rhône-Alpes Stage 2, the newly named race, and a new pattern to the race with a 234-kilometer stage coming after the GC day that wasn't yesterday. TTT, that's what everyone was saying this morning, except this man, Baptiste Vistrofa. He lined up in the front row. He wanted to be in the breakaway. All the teams seemed concerned with the TTT tomorrow and the tight GC gaps, and so we had a breakaway without the big teams controlling, except for EF Education Easy Post, but they don't want to control the stage win. They have the yellow jersey. The closest in the breakaway is Clément Brazafonso by 5 minutes. So they peg it at 6 minutes. Dorian Godon then got dropped with 60 Ks to go, and that was basically the signal that no team's coming to control for their sprinter. Visma weren't for Van Aert. Godon's gone. Matthews tried to get in the break, and so we've got Garcia Piana, the best overall rider in the breakaway, Charmig, the best puncher, Vistrofa, the best rouleur, perhaps, and Brazafonso, the closest in GC, the Groupama FTJ rider. Because he's on 5 minutes, that's why it's pegged at 5 minutes, but EF don't have any interest in spending resources to bring it back further than that. So that means Fuga de la Fuga time. The green light is on. Breakaway will win the stage. Brazafonso goes with Vistrofa. It's a good move. You can have Group 2 syndrome. There's even a Group 3 perhaps behind this after this climb. 4K, 6%. So you've got a 10, 12-minute climb to deal with here. Vlad van Mechelen was climbing very well for Bahrain Victorious. And Brazafonso can't wait for Vistrofa. He drops him on this climb. We see they're actually working pretty well behind Charmig, but then Van Mechelen and Garcia Pierna go across to Brazafonso. Vistrofa's out of the game. He gets dropped out of the breakaway. The gap's still 5:30, so Brazafonso's doing a good pace despite Healy, Steinhauser, Quinn, McKellar, Leonard. They're all pacing behind. Then the GC teams, when EF are a bit thin on the ground, start to position, which takes time out. Garcia Pierna and Van Mechelen, they're 20 seconds behind, but we then have valleys, big roads, flat roads coming up. Brazafonso's probably 52 kilos, and so the rouleurs are going to catch him back. Benjamin Thomas and Charmig work pretty well. So we've got three groups at 20 seconds, 25 seconds, but then Brazafonso's caught, 3 Ks after that by the two bigger guys before some more hills coming up. But they hold the group behind at a stable gap of 10 seconds for quite a while, so they don't want Charmig coming back. They don't want Jordan Gegat coming back, the Total Energies rider who was top 10 in the Tour de France last year, because we got a 5-minute punchy climb about 12 Ks from the finish. But then they are still brought back about 8 Ks, about 10 minutes before that. And I noticed something of the way Charmig descended here. There's a tell, and this is also how he ends up winning the stage. I don't know if it's an attack. I don't know if it's just the way he wants to descend quicker, but he pushes on in a not a very obvious manner. Gets across to the breakaway that was ahead, unintentionally goes clear of them. He actually could have anticipated here. He was just reaching for a gel, carrying his momentum. None of them were actually chasing him. Benjamin Thomas then closed it down. Healy has to start pulling to keep that gap below 5 minutes so they don't lose the yellow jersey for Baudin. Then they start working well together. There's a descent into the final climb. So it reminded me a lot of Simon Yates' stage win last year in the Tour de France, where he attacked on the descent, got a gap, and then people were already off his wheel when he kicked at the start of the climb. Benjamin Thomas has done that. He's ahead of Charmig. Charmig then gets a small gap here. Garcia Pierna is caught at the back of the group. Brazafonso is also blocked by Van Mechelen. And basically Charmig is going to attack from the base of this climb, which has a narrow right, left over this bridge entry. And you can see the 6 seconds that Garcia Pierna loses by, small margins in cycling. And small decisions, the way Charmig did that, maybe it made the difference for Garcia Pierna not winning the stage today, because Charmig's off. There's a split. Garcia Pierna reacts late. He's not in the draft for a good minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes, and he then gets across to Charmig, but he spent a bullet there for nothing. If he'd been on the wheel in the descent, maybe he follows over the top, because then they pace for a little bit. Brazafonso keeps going. I think Charmig dropped the pace, and then on the 13% section, he kicks again. He was 7th in Quebec last year. That's a really high-level punchy race. You have to be a good puncher to get a result like that there. He's won in Oman on a 5-minute finish in 2022 on uphill finish, and here he drops Brazafonso and Garcia Pierna. But he doesn't just drop them, he also by far has the most resources left to actually maintain a good pace to the finish. Despite the two linking up behind him, 10Ks, he only had about 10 seconds over the top. He extends that second by second, with Brazafonso and Garcia Pierna actually being caught by Van Mechelen and Renard. But he's got an unusual style on the bike, doesn't he, Charming? Like quite a high saddle, I thought, like especially around the corners, he really straightens his leg out and stretches the hamstring out. Obviously worked well because that's how he won the stage descending, and then with a great punchy effort. Biggest win of his career. Uno-X got a couple of big wins under their belt in the last couple of weeks from the breakaway. Hard to make it in the first place. And Renard Hakan takes second, the biggest result of his career. Van Mechelen third. Tomorrow we've got the TTT, but today it was for the breakaway men. Charmig, then Renard Hakan, Van Mechelen, Garcia Pierna, Brazafonso, Thomas Gegat, Reisberg, Fischer Black, and Van Hils led the bunch across at 3 minutes 13. Here's what Dane had to say.
Anton, this Tour Auvergne Rhône-Alpes is the tour of grand premieres at the World Tour level. After yesterday, another rider wins a first World Tour race. It's your turn this time. What does it feel like?
Oh, it's an incredible feeling, you know. For me, I don't get that many chances each year, so, you know, when I have the chance, it's really like, so yeah, it's an incredible feeling. I feel, you know, so happy to be here, and yeah.
Another victory for Uno-X, and it really looks like you always deliver. It was the case of Dversnes on the Giro. It's the case here for you as well.
Yeah, I think we've taken a big step this year, and the whole team has really stepped up. And also, I think just the atmosphere in the team is really good. You know, we have so much fun together. I come straight from 4 weeks of altitude with the team, and yeah, we had a really good time. And I think for the motivation, it's a perfect environment, and yeah, it shows in the results also.
Absolutely. What was the key of your success today? Was it patience after all?
Yeah, I think for patience, I was a really long stage, so it's all about saving energy for the last moment. And yeah, on the second last climb, I knew it was a bit too long for my abilities, so I really like trying to be patient, not panicking when the guys went away. And especially with Benjamin Thomas, we really did a good work together well to get back, and you know, the final climb was you know, perfect for my characteristic, so that was really nice.
A victory at this level probably gives you a lot of ambitions for this week and maybe for the month of July.
Let's see. Hopefully it's a good for the team selection, but no, I think first of all it's just about enjoying this victory.
In terms of GC, Baudin defends the leader's jersey after the good work of his team EF Education Easy Post today. 32 seconds ahead of that group that were all in the second group yesterday. We got the big TTT tomorrow. 30-minute TTT, hilly. There should be decent gaps, interesting pacing strategies. I can't wait to watch it. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you the recap of that then. Ciao, ciao.